Hello, welcome back to the chaos that is Shani and books. Today I am going to be doing a big book haul. I don't do book hauls very often because I don't buy books that often. I've been using my library a lot recently, but I haven't done a book haul I think since like mid-year last year. So since then I've had my birthday and Christmas. So I was gifted books by other people and I also treated myself to a few books around my birthday. So I have like 50 books to show you today. But yeah, like I said, I normally don't buy myself books. So normally I don't have this big of a book haul, but this is a big collective one for like 6 months of the year. So let's start with, I have literally no organization. The books are just scattered around me. I might start with books that I was sent. First, I was sent by Hachette a children's book, which is called Pancakes for Plum by Ray Tan. I figured I may as well show this here. This is really cute and sweet. I actually really like this one. It is about our main character, Plum, who worries that she's not good at anything. Her brothers have skills or hobbies that they're really good at and she's not good at them. But you know, the moral is she has to learn to find something that she enjoys and work towards being good at it by practicing. So love this one. And thank you, Hachette, for sending me that. Then I have, at the bottom of this pile, of course, Pan Macmillan sent me The Lantern of Lost Memories by Sanaka Hiraji. This one is a translated book. It's really short. It is about this photography studio, which is like in between life and death. It's like this middle place that people go to once they have died, and they are presented with a bunch of photos from throughout their life, and they have to pick one photo to represent each year of their life to put into this lantern to send off, and then they are able to move on to the afterlife. I thought this was really good. I really enjoyed this one, and it is like 3 connected short stories that are all set in this photo studio. Next is a non-fiction that I was sent by Simon & Schuster. This is Safe Space by Alyssa Huyn. This is essays about the author's experience growing up Asian in Australia. And I tabbed a lot of this. I originally contacted the publisher to request it because I was seeing the author post some quotes on social media. I knew straight away by the quotes that this was going to be something that resonated with me and that I was going to love. And yeah, I highlighted and annotated a lot in this one and I really recommend it. Sorry, I'm trying to like go fast because I've got a lot of books to get through. I guess this little stack next to me I bought used recently. I was actually away. I don't go places very often, but I unfortunately had a funeral to attend. And my mum and I went op shopping or thrift shopping, you call it, other places, which I don't often get to do. I don't often get to shop at all by myself, but I picked up 3 books. You like my hair?
Yeah, like the
They are little butterflies. So the first book that I picked up there was Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. I have not read from this author, which quite frankly is a crime, so excited to get into this one. I also picked up, I'm not sure if I'm going to like this, but I feel like I saw people talking about it forever ago. When you're used book shopping, you just end up picking up things that you've just heard of. So this one is Educated by Tara Westover, which I believe is like a memoir of a woman who grew up like not going to school. And then lastly, I saw this book in there, which is technically an ARC, and I know you're not meant to like sell and buy ARCs, but I had to get this. So this one is The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. And I know what you're thinking, that is so thick for a Beth O'Leary book. And I thought the same. I saw this sitting on the shelf and I was like, oh my gosh, that's thick. Why is that so thick? And then I looked through it and it's like bound incorrectly. So I don't know if they all were like this or like this is just a one-off that got done wrong. Because like there's the acknowledgements here and then it goes back to the book again. So it's in here twice. So really it should just be like this thick, but they mistakenly printed it wrong, I think. So it's here and then it's also here. So I don't know when I'm going to get around to this one. I have read from this author before and have enjoyed her, but I just had to have this for a couple of dollars. Like an ARC that is like printed incorrectly is so fun. That's like a fun collector's thing. You want me to show that one next? I've got an assistant today. So this one was a Christmas present from Kian. But I got the box set of I think it's Chestnut Springs, yes, the Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. So Flawless, Heartless, Powerless, Reckless, and Hopeless, which I have not started this series, so bold of me to have asked for the entire box set, but I'm really excited. I think I might do a video where I like binge read the whole entire series. I'm feeling that might be a fun vibe. But thank you to my beautiful Kian for getting me that for Christmas. Should we continue with Christmas presents? What else have I received as a present? I think this was for my birthday, maybe mid-year. This is The Husbands by Holly Gramazio. This one is about a woman who randomly a man comes down from her attic and is like, I'm your husband. And she's like, what the? Then when he goes back up the attic, a different man comes down and her life is also changing around the men that are coming down from the attic, I think. I read a chapter last night, so I'm going to continue reading this one today. But this is a fun little magical realism one. This feels like this is really close. Can I move this back a little? Is that going to ruin things? I don't know. I just feel like it's so close to me. What else? I think I received this one as a Christmas present from a family too. This one is Woman Eating by Claire Coda. This one is a short little horror vampire book, which I'm very excited to get to. Oh, these ones I received for Christmas too. So the first one is The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This one is a Saffic cozy fantasy, I believe. So I'm excited to try it out. Not the biggest fantasy reader, but I feel like when it is cozy fantasy, I'm more likely to like it, and also Saffic. And then also this one, which I have read, but I'm excited to reread and continue on because I think it's a series. This is Every Time I Go on Vacation, Someone Dies by Catherine Mack. Like I said, I've already read this. It was one of my favorites of the year. I really am enjoying cozy mysteries. This one is about this woman who is an author. Her book series that she wrote was based on a real life thing that happened, and her ex-boyfriend is blackmailing her for the money for including him in the book. But now she's on a book tour and the ex-boyfriend thinks someone is trying to kill him. So now they're trying to solve the new murder. All right, I don't know, I don't have much order, so I'm just gonna start grabbing now. This one was talked about everywhere last year, but this is The Ministry of Time by Kaylane Bradley. This is like a time traveling book, I believe, but I picked this one up because I wanted to see what all the hype is about. Haven't read it yet, but I will be reading it soon. Another one that I picked up that I will be reading soon, or I have started, is Welcome to the Hunam Dong Bookshop by Hwang Bo Rem. This one is translated from Korean, and it is basically about this woman who is opening up a bookshop and all the things that go along with having a bookshop. It is like cozy and heartwarming, I think. So excited to sprinkle that one in around some of the heavier books that I'm reading at the moment. Another book, I have read this one and didn't love it. I'm super, super sad because it's an author that I love, but this is Make the Season Bright by Ashley Herring Blake. This one, I love this author so much, but I didn't love this because it is a second chance romance between these two women. But the reason for their breakup is because one left the other one at the altar. Like not even like broke up with her like on the wedding day. Like the woman was standing at the altar waiting for the other woman to walk down and she just never came. Next up, I have a copy of a book that I read from the library. So I ended up buying myself a copy around my birthday. This is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. This one is also like a magical realism type vibe, but it is a romance book. This woman is basically living in this house that is able to like, I don't know, there's like a time loop where sometimes she walks into the house and it's like 7 years in. Okay, my camera cut me off. She walks into the house and sometimes the apartment is like 7 years in the past and there's someone else living there. I don't know if I explained that very good, but I'm trying to like whiz through these. I really enjoyed this one. Next up, one that I read for my book club. Look, the second half of the year, I was not doing good at being a book club host, so I really apologize for that. But this one is That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming. This one is like a fantasy romance. It's like a smutty romance series, but in a fantastical setting. And it is exactly what the title says. She accidentally stumbles across this demon and now they go on like a little quest together. It wasn't like a 5-star all-time favorite, but I had so much fun that I think I'm going to continue on with the series and read this author's new book coming out this year. I'm excited for that one. It's about aliens, I think. While we're talking about book clubs, I was also gifted this one for Christmas. I think I asked for it because it was a book that I really, really surprisingly enjoyed that I picked for my book club, which is Woke Up Like This by Amy Lee. This one is technically, I think, young adult, but it is like another kind of time travel-y vibe. Basically, these two high school seniors are setting up for prom and one falls off a ladder and lands on the other one. And when they wake up, they are in the future as 30-year-olds. And so they have to figure out how to get back to their time and what is going on, and I thought this was so sweet. I was like really surprised. I'm excited. I'm probably going to reread this one at some point. Also for Christmas, I received my favorite book of the year. I originally read it from the library. This is The Bandit Queens by Parini Shroff. This one is set in India. We are following this group of women in this village. Our main character, Geeta, everyone in the village thinks that she killed her husband because he went missing several years ago, and so it's just assumed that she killed him, and she never corrected anyone. But now some of the other women in the village are like, hey, my husband's not that good either, so can you help me like off him? And she never killed her husband originally, so now she's like fumbling around trying to figure out how to help these women. And yeah, I just love women getting revenge on crappy men. Another one I bought for myself after reading the library copy. I don't know, did I put this in my last book haul? I'm not really sure. But this is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. Love this author. Will pick up everything that she writes, which also she's coming out with a book this year in April, and it is going to be my April book club pick. I know it's going to be probably hard for some people to get their hands on it straight away. Like the library holds are going to be long, but maybe if you get your holds in now, it comes out on April 1st, and we're going to discuss it towards the end of April, or I can push it into May, depending on if people can't get their hands on it. But the newest book is called Sailor Remember Me, and I just got approved like a week ago for the ARC. So I'm so excited that I actually have a copy ready to go early. So I'll probably read mine early before April, but I will push the live show if people aren't able to get their hands on a copy or a library hold hasn't come in yet. But yes, newest Abby Jimenez, we are going to read together, which I'm so excited about. But this one, her previous release was 5 stars. All of her recent books have been 5 stars for me, and I'm so excited to read the new one. But this one, oh yeah, I didn't tell you the synopsis. This one is these two characters. Our female character finds this Reddit post from the male main character saying that he has this curse on him where every time he dates someone and they break up and the person goes and finds the love of their life. And she thinks she also has the same curse. So she contacts him and she's like, hey, let's date and our curses will cancel each other out, which is so like fun. But the book also deals with like really heavy topics, as Abby always does. I feel like she does so well at mixing like fluffy romance fun vibes with more heavier topics that you would normally find like in a lit fic maybe. So I feel like that's why she is for me, because I am in that middle zone between the lit fic and the romance. So love this, excited for her new release. We may as well talk about her other books now, because I didn't do a very good job, but I did also try and host a read along for her backlist as well. So I did purchase these 3 books, which I didn't love as much as her recent 3. These ones were all like around a 3-star or just below. I still really enjoyed them, but all of them just had something that annoyed me about the character or the trope that was in it, or something about it annoyed me, but I did still enjoy the reading experience. I love the author's writing. I was like feeling like there was just so many cute moments in the books. However, I just couldn't rate them as high as the other books just because something impacted my enjoyment for them. But I would still recommend them widely because I love this author. I originally got these books from the library, or I had my holds in, and the person who had the first book just did not return the book for ages. So I ended up buying them, and now I kind of wish I read them from the library, but that's okay. I'm happy to have this author's entire collection in my collection because I do love her. But yeah, I did purchase The Friend Zone, The Happy Ever After playlist, and Life's Too Short. So now I have every book that she has written, besides the one ebook, because I don't think there's a print version of that. So yeah, mark it in your calendar, Abby Jimenez new book for April. All right, let's continue on with romance. I bought myself some romance books around my birthday. So first one that I haven't read just because the topic was something that I could not read at the time. So this is Here We Go Again by Alison Cochrane. I've read from this author before. This is a Saffic romance, and I have read a Saffic romance that this author has written. She also has male romances. I haven't read those, or I don't know how many she has. But this is about childhood best friends who I guess like drifted apart, and now they're working together, I think. Yes, working together as teachers, and they are going on like a road trip because their old school teacher has cancer and is dying. And I think it's his dying wish to travel across the country, something like that. But yeah, couldn't exactly read this at the time. I'm glad I didn't when I was going to pick it up, but I'm sure this is going to be cute and sweet, and I'm excited to read it. Also, for Sapphic romances, this one I did love and have already read. This is Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings. Love the pink cover and love that I love the insides of this one as well. This is about two autistic women falling in love. Need I say more? Basically, our character Opal here ends up winning a scratch off, I think it's called in the book. She ends up winning like $500,000, and so she buys this flower farm, but when she gets to the flower farm, this other character, Pepper, is there saying, oh, what the heck, I live and work on this farm. How did you buy this farm? So it's a whole thing, and they fall in love because it's a romance, and I really enjoyed it. Another Saffic romance I still haven't read, I really need to read. This is Ashley Herring Blake's previous book, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date. I had read the first two books in this series, and Delilah Green Doesn't Care is actually my all-time favorite romance book, I think. I enjoyed the second one. I still haven't read this one. I feel like I'm going to like this. I don't even know what it's about, but I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. I may as well say here as well, if you're not following the Instagram, that's usually where I announce the book club picks first. I'll try and remember to put them on the YouTube. But the June book is going to be Ashley Herring Blake's newest Saffic romance called Dream On Ramona Riley. I think it comes out in May, and then it's going to be the June book club pick, and then we'll discuss it at the end of June / mid-July. And then while I'm talking about the book club, let me just insert the graphic. So let me tell you the whole entire year. So February is Blob by Maggie Sue. I know I'm picking a lot of new releases for the beginning of the year, but I don't know, just if you can't get holds in, just let me know and I'll like delay things. And then March is the Baby Dragon Cafe. And then for April, May and June, April, like I said, is new Abby Jimenez. And then May is going to be the new Emily Henry. Again, I did that last year in May, and so I'm excited to read her new book again this year. And then June is going to be the new Ashley Herring Blake. So that's the first 6 months of the year. Nothing for January because it was too much to organise. So, all right, back to the book haul. So we have another romance. This is another Elsie Silver, Wild Love. I actually bought this before I got the box set. I was going to start with this series, but then I changed my mind. I'm just going to go back and read her entire backlist. Hopefully I like her because I own a lot of books by her now. I don't even know what that one's about. This was another one I think I treated myself to around my birthday. It's not often that I go shopping and don't have a child with me so I can just like browse, but I did get to do that around my birthday. And so I was like, I'm going to go into the bookstore and just pick a book that I've never heard someone talk about online, because normally that's where I get my book recommendations from. So I'm like, I'm just going to pick one that I see on the shelf that the synopsis intrigues me, the cover intrigues me. And this one was face out on the shelf, and the cover drew me in, and then I read the synopsis and I was like, oh my God, so cute. This is the Delagut Dream Department Store by Lee. It is translated from Korean. Like, look at the cover. This one is about this dream department store. So basically people are going to this department store when they're asleep and they're able to purchase dreams. Such a cool premise. I have already read it. I thought it was really, really interesting. It's not my all-time favorite book. I don't know what didn't make it perfect for me, but I really, really enjoyed it. And I would recommend it for someone who is looking for this sort of vibe. Next up, another Ashley Poston book. This is a novel love story. Still haven't read this one. This one's her newest release. This one, again, all of her romances lately seem to be having like this magical twist. And this one I think is about a main character who goes into this town, and the town is like from her favorite book. Like it's like a fictional town. Something like that, I think. I don't know if she like goes into the book or what the deal is with the magic in that one, because I haven't read it. I've seen mixed things about this. I feel like I was seeing a lot of people saying they didn't like it, but I've recently seen some more positive reviews for this one, so I am excited for it. Next up, I have another Saffic romance book. This one was gifted to me by Sasha. I'll leave Sasha linked because she has a YouTube channel. So thank you, Sasha. This one is Novel Problems by Elizabeth Lully. I had read the previous book by this author and it was one of my favorites of the year, and this was her release last year. We are following a bookstore / cafe owner and a writer. And so the writer is coming to the town and she is supposed to sign all of these books for her upcoming book release. The books get delivered to the bookstore, and then when she goes in to say, hey, I've got to sign all those books, because she has misplaced her hearing aid, she mishears the bookstore owner and thinks that she's saying yes to, yeah, I'm here to sign those books, but she actually says yes to accepting a job. So she accidentally starts working at the bookstore, and because she's writing under a pen name, the bookstore owner doesn't know it's her. Really enjoy this author's work. She is Australian, even though this is not set in Australia. But yeah, I will read probably everything she comes out with from now on. Kian, he's playing with a balloon. Next up, another romance that I've got a lot of romances here for someone who doesn't love romance. But anyway, I've got The Partner Plot by Christina Forrest. This one, I've read a previous book by this author, and I'm excited to try this one. I think this is like fake marriage, is it? Or they accidentally drunkenly get married. Sounds fun. I want to try it because I liked the previous book by that author, like I said. Okay, I went on a bit of a translated book kick for a while there. I think I've already talked about a couple, but there's a couple more here. The first one is The Marigold Mind Laundry, which this sounds really, really fun. It is this laundromat that has these magical powers, or the person owning it has magical powers. She converts bad memories into stains on a t-shirt. So she takes the memories from the people, the customers, puts the stains onto a t-shirt, and then she washes it in the laundry, and then they are rid of their bad memories. Sounds like a really fun premise. And it's not very long, so I want to get to this one soon. Translated one that I have read is What You Are Looking For Is in the Library. This one, like I said, I've read it. It was okay. It's not like an all-time favorite or anything. It is basically just like, it's just this cozy style that these translated books seem to have at the moment. A lot of these Japanese translated books seem to be quite similar, where they're just like cozy, not a lot of plot, but it is this librarian who is like helping people find things that they're looking for in the library, and it's a bunch of short stories. And then I think this is last for the translated books. This is Will Prescribe You a Cat, which is another Japanese bestseller. This one I think is a clinic that is prescribing cats as medication for people coming into the clinic, patients, which again, that sounds like a lot of fun, so I'm excited to read it. This one I picked up, I think I'm like mutuals with this author on TikTok, but this is an Australian author. It's called At the Foot of the Cherry Tree by Ali Parker. Like I said, I think I'm mutuals with them on TikTok. If not, I just follow them. And I saw a TikTok of theirs come up talking about this book, or a couple of TikToks actually, and I'm really interested. So it's loosely based around the author's actual family history, their actual grandparents. So her grandmother, based on the true story of Australia's first Japanese war bride and a love that changed the nation forever. So basically her grandfather is Australian, and he married a Japanese woman, her grandmother, and brought her over to Australia. And then I guess it's just about their love story, which I can't remember what the TikTok was that I saw her talking about it, but I was really interested in it and I bought it. I still haven't read it, but I will try and read it this year. This one I have read. I read it at the beginning of last year from the library, and then I saw the book on sale at Kmart. So I thought I may as well pick it up now since I did enjoy it and I would reread it. This is the Britney Spears memoir, The Woman in Me. Like I said, I read it from the library and it was marked down quite a lot. So I thought perfect time to pick it up. And yeah, I think I will definitely reread this one because I feel like I sped through it pretty fast. It is a quick read. But yeah, it's basically just everything that Britney went through, which is a lot. I feel terrible for people who have gone into Hollywood very young, because as we're seeing, a lot of them are now adults and not doing the best. So I think a lot of them were mistreated in the industry. So this one I bought and I have not read, and now I don't know if I want to read, but it is An Academy for Liars by Alexis Henderson. This one was Kayla's book club pick for November. So I picked it up in November, and then I started seeing not the greatest reviews for it. And then when I looked at their book club live show, a lot of them didn't love it. So then, I didn't end up picking it up. But I have seen it on a couple of people's favorites list. I think I saw it, at least one person's put it on their favorites list. So maybe I will still read it. I don't know. We'll see on that one. I think it's like dark academia. Oh, there's definitely no organization to this because I have another translated one. This is The Kamigawa Food Detectives by Hisashi Kashiwai. I don't know if I said that right. This is basically this father-daughter duo who own this restaurant. People come in looking for like specific dishes and they like recreate the dish for them. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but that's this one. Next up, I have some books that I bought, again, from a used bookstore in Australia. So this one is a continuation on from a series that I have enjoyed, which is the Finlay Donovan series. This one is the third book. Yes, Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun by El Costumano. I have really enjoyed, the first book was one of my favorites the year I read it. The second book was okay, but I do think I want to continue on with the series. I'll read this one and see if I want to continue on from there. The lighting is changing because he's playing with the window there. Anyway, I picked up this one for literally $5. I have already read it. I got an ARC of it when it first came out. This was actually my first ever ARC, which was kind of the only reason I bought it, because I wanted to have a physical copy of the very first ever e-ARC that I read and reviewed. But this is Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey, which is funny because I recently got another ARC for a Tessa Bailey book and I absolutely hated it. So I do think this author is not for me, but this particular one, maybe I just liked it because I was excited about having my first ARC. But it is a Christmas romance. We are following these two children of like pop stars. Their mums were in this like pop band many years ago. The band had a big falling out and broke up, and now the two children are trying to get their mums to reunite and get the band back together. And then obviously the two main characters fall in love. In the meantime, it's very cheesy because their names are literally Beat and Melody, wasn't it? Yeah, their names are Beat and Melody, and they are children of pop stars. So I don't know, it's a bit silly, but it was really fun when I read it. And just for, I'm a sentimental person, so just for the sentimental aspect, I bought myself a physical copy, but it was only a couple of dollars, so I think it's fine. Then I bought the remainder of another series that I have started somewhere here, the Pages & Co series. So this is The Book Smugglers, The Treehouse Library, and The Last Book Wanderer. These are all middle grade books in a series. The insides are always really cute. Basically following our main character who finds out that she can go into her favorite books. And I would like to finish off this series because I was really enjoying it, and I would also like to read more middle grade this year. So I picked these ones up from that used bookstore. Just the top one, please, the green one. Another middle grade. This one I have already read. I read it from my library, but I did not own the physical copy. It is a continuation in the Nevermore series. I don't know what the actual series is called. But this is Hollow Pox by Jessica Townsend. Almost there. But yeah, I found, this has been out for a while, so I found this one from that used bookstore as well. And this is basically like, I don't know, it's like a mixture of like all those popular books like Harry Potter, Hunger Games, Divergent, except those for middle grade audiences, not like people dying. We're following this little girl who is like a cursed child. I forget what they called it in the first book. I need to reread this. The fourth book is finally coming out this year, so I probably will reread them. But she is like cursed and is blamed for like everything bad that happens in their town because she was born on a certain day. So she's like the cursed child. And then she is supposed to die on her 11th birthday because, I don't know, just, I don't know if it's like a superstition or what it was that they got, I forget. But basically the like prophecy was that she is the cursed child and she's meant to die on her 11th birthday. But then on her 11th birthday, instead of dying, she gets swept away to this magical world of Nevermore and things start happening. The second book is more focused on this school. And the third book is, what was this about? Yes, now there's like an illness in Nevermore and it's turning all of the like Wondermals that are like animal human crossover things back into vicious animals. So I'm excited to finally continue on with this series. This is again an Australian author and I've been highly anticipating the next book. So if you're looking for a middle grade series, this is a good one. Next up, jumping back into romance, this one I also bought myself a copy after reading the ARC, but this is The Catch by Amy Lee. I mentioned another book of hers earlier, which was young adult, but this one is adult, so it's obviously much steamier than the young adult one. We are following like a fashion influencer who is headed to this like Canadian small town, but her accommodation gets messed up, so she ends up having to go to this random fishing town and staying in the Airbnb of a grumpy fisherman, and then they fall in love. And I thought this was really cute and sweet. This one, I think I was gifted this for my birthday. This is Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison. I've read a previous book by this author and I really enjoyed it. It is a horror book and I just felt like the one that I read at least was like light horror. Like it wasn't super horrifying. It was about a witch. This one is about a werewolf or someone turning into a werewolf, I think. But I'm really excited about this one. So I'll try and read that hopefully soon. This one I also received for my birthday. This one is Women of Good Fortune by Sophie Wan. I've never heard anyone talk about this, I don't think. So I don't remember where I heard about this to put it on my wish list of books I'm interested in. But I don't know if it's a cozy mystery or if it's just a lit fic book. But it is about a main character who has been proposed to by someone. The most eligible bachelor surprises her with a proposal. She does not want to marry him, but his family fortune would solve all of her family's financial woes. So she tells her best friends, hold on, let me remind myself of the synopsis. Oh, right, yes, she tells her friends, so she is going to go through with the wedding, but they're going to steal all of the money on the big day, her and her friends, because they need money. So I don't know if this is a cozy mystery or if it's just a lit fic, but it does remind me a little bit of that Jessie Q's Sutanto book, Dial A for Aunties, but it doesn't seem like there's a death in this one. So maybe it's not a cozy mystery. Maybe it's just general fiction, but I am excited about it. Right. Last book, which I haven't read, which I should just go ahead and read because it's very short, but my mum has been gifting me all the books in this series for birthdays and Christmases. This is volume 11 of the saga graphic novels. I do have, no, you can't see them in this background. I do have the nice hardcover bind-ups of like the first 9, and then after that I've just gone back to collecting like the single editions because I haven't got a bind-up yet, but that's fine. This is, like I said, it's volume 11, so I'm probably going to have to like reread something or get like, I don't know, I don't remember what was happening in it. But it's a graphic novel series, I'll try not to spoil anything. And yeah, it's like set in space, which is very unlike me, but I really enjoy this one. It's like one of the only graphic novel series that I have continued on reading. 2 aliens from like feuding alien families. So they're not supposed to be together, but they have fallen in love and now they're trying to escape. People are trying to get after them because they're not meant to be together. And obviously they're like, not countries, planets, I don't know. Each of their alien races are like fighting each other. The way I'm pitching it sounds like something I would not like at all if you know my reading taste at all. But I really love this graphic novel series. So that I think is all of the books that I have acquired, bought, gifted, been given in the last 6 months. I think that was around 50 books. I hope you enjoyed hearing about all these books. I'm sorry, I tried to rush through them as quick as I could. Yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back with another video that's hopefully not as chaotic next time, but it probably will be. So